welcome. I'm trying to learn history, today the Olmecs, and after we've done it, we're gonna do stretching. And if you participate in stretching, well, it's better to Olmecs. Okay, we're almost done with the Olmecs. This is part 3, in total 4 in total of the Olmecs. So totals. The Olmecs. The Olmecs lived in Mesoamerica, and that is Mexico and Central America. 9,000 years ago, the people in Mesoamerica, which is Central America and Mexico, started to do agriculture. And then 4,000 years ago, there were extensive farms, and the people were growing squash and crops and bean. Other crops, bean, and something else. Corn. Corn is a fruit. Crops is the seed. Corn, beans, and squash. And then, by the year around 3,000 years ago, that's what we want to say, the Olmecs culture developed, so the people of the Olmecs developed there. And around 3,000 years ago, there were the Olmecs people living in a then developed culture. And from them are ruins still standing, for example, in La Venta, which is in Tabasco in Mexico. The ruins, for example, a ruin, a mighty pyramid of the Olmec is still standing in La Venta, at La Venta in Tabasco, which is in Mexico. And they were making carvings with stone chisels. They didn't have metal, so they had stone chisels, and then they were carving in Vulcan stone in basalt, so-called or nicknamed baby faces. And they were 14 tons heavy stones, for example. And no one knows how they moved them, but they carved with stone chisels these so-called baby faces into them, these Olmecs. And anything there? No, just a nice ending. There's not so much known about the Olmecs because, well, they had counting and calendar system, they had no writing system. That is according to Weizkeller's world history. Let's try it. I think that is what we wanted to say. Let's just try it if we are able to say it. I have a second camera, which I'm going to start now. And let's try to make a presentation. It was 9,000 and then 4,000 years ago. Farmers and 3,000 the Olmecs. Basalt. The Olmecs. 9,000 years ago did the first people do agriculture in Mesoamerica, which is Mexico and Central America. And then 4,000 years ago there were then extensive farms, and the people were then growing corn and squash and other crops. And then 3,000 years ago the Olmecs culture developed with people there. And they were carving with the stone chisels, just for example, into huge rocks which could be 14 tons heavy, and no one knows how we move them, so-called baby faces. And there's, for example, a mighty pyramid still standing in La Venta, in Tabasco, in Mexico. And it's not so much known about the Olmecs because they might have had a counting and a calendar system. It is that they had no writing system. And that is according to Miles Culler's World History on the page 76. It would be better if I just do it a second time, if I'm more in the way to present it and not to rehearse it. Beans was it. But I said it all. And I think it's interesting that the presentations are in very different realms done. So I'm going to stop the camera. And that was history to the Olmecs. That means if you are here for history, you can go to the next part where we will do something else in history. Now we will do the stretching. If you stay and participate in the stretching, then it's better the Olmecs. Good and simple stance, we're breathing in with the arms up. No, wait, no. I want to do something else. We're not completely done with history. We have something to geography. Here was said that the 76, that the Mesoamerica, that is Mexico and Central America. And I wanted to have it. So we want to do another video where we're going to say that Mesoamerica means Mexico and Central America. I have a world map. I'll take it out and look if I may be able to show it also here. for Western. So we have in Mexico and Central America. Now where would be Central America? I'm not sure if the Caribbean belongs to it, but I'm going to start just broadly. I would say even the northern countries of South America are part of Central America, but I don't know it. It could be that people would say Colombia and also in Venezuela are not part of Central America, but just up until here. And not the Caribbean, so just that Central America, that would be possible. Now it would be nice to know, here's the Panama Canal, West Panama, so there must be the Panama Canal. West Panama. No. I would say, we're not going to go that much into detail, we don't know if Mesoamerica is now northern South America with Ecuador, Colombia, Venezuela, and Guyana. So we're just gonna say that. I don't know if it's possible to say it like that, but let's just try. Let's start with camera. The second one again. And let's try to say that. Mesoamerica is Mexico and Central America. That is according to Miles Kelly's World History on the page 76, and that is on the world map here between Northern and Southern America there, with Mexico and then other countries there. I would have liked really to say to people, it's way too close from focus, Dusty. It's way too close from here to see. But I'm going to read them now shortly. And always, I have this map a couple of times. I'm always writing the capital city names in the same printing as the country names. El Salvador, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Panama, and I want to have it by Guatemala, and Belize, and Honduras. And now we're in the city. I'm stopping the camera. And we have now also that was geography or whatever it was. So if you want to have more to geography, go more to geography. We did in the last part of the Mediterranean Sea. I don't know if we do on the next. So we have a geography course and we have a history course. So whatever you're going to go to it. If you stay and participate now in the stretching is at your own risk when you're going to do cleaning course. You're breathing in and letting the arms out. If you participate in it, it's at your own risk. And breathe out, go to one side. Now we've ended up in the middle cage. And breathe out at the middle. Again in. And out over to the other side. We've ended up in the rib cage. And out in the middle. And next exercise. Now one sees the anchor up. We're breathing in. And out and one hand slides down the neck. And the other shoulder stays down. Breathing in. And out we're taking one arm over. Breathing down the rib cage. And out into the middle. Again in. And out we're sliding with one head down and the other shoulder stays down. Breathing in. And out we're taking one arm over. Breathing down the rib cage. Out into the middle. Now the aeronautic aerobatic aeroplane. The feet are standing together. We're breathing in and lifting the arms up. And we're breathing out. Letting one arm down. Breathe in and reach. And breathe out one arm up. Again. And out one arm down. Breathe in and reach. Out one arm up. And the arms down. And now the legs wide apart and doing shoulder circles. Back, up, front, down, again, back, and front, and down, and backwards. And now we're breathing in, lifting the shoulders up, and breathe out as the shoulders fall down. Again in. And out. Again in. Now breathe in, lift the arms up, we're doing the upper plucker. And always reach with one arm high up, just keep normal breathing. And pretend to take with the hands, to take an apple which is hanging high on the upper branch. You turn it a bit around, and then to harvest it. And now we shift our legs wide apart, arms up to deep, we're breathing in. And out we're shifting over to one side, just with the upper part of the body. Again, in into the middle, and out over to the other side. Again in, and out. Again in, again in, and out, leaning onto the knees. Breathe again in, and out we take one arm, shoulder in front. It is the buffalo fighting its hangover. Breathe again in, and out the other shoulder in front. Again in, and out the shoulder in front. Again in, and out the second one in front. Short back. Out we're hanging down, we're doing the Niagara Falls. Breathe again in, and out. Again in, and out over to my neck. Breathe in, and out over to the other leg. Breathe again in, and out into the middle. And now close the feet, and doing the sides up and circle. Breathe again in, and out. Again in, and again in. And now we're coming slowly with our back over, making it to the backwards shoulder. Garden pose. The toes are pointing to the outside, leaving all the space between the heels. We're breathing in and lifting the arms up. And we're breathing out and we're sinking down and placing the elbows against the insides of the knees. Breathe in, straighten up the back. And breathe out and come with the back up. Breathe again in. And out again down. Breathe in, straighten up the back. And out and come with the back up. Breathe in, and out and down, in and straight up, out and come slowly up to one straight line. And we're ending with the trunk, unite our legs wide apart, we're breathing in and out. In and close the legs. And out. Now, bit pause for stretching. I thank you very much, and until next time.